welcome back. I hope your day's been wonderful, excellent. Mine has. So I hope yours is too. So, back to Moses and the Israelites. Moses and the Israelites have been traveling through the desert on their way to the new land God had promised them. How did God help the Israelites while they traveled? What had he given them? Pillars of fire, big pillars of clouds, food, water, food from the sky, water from a rock, and his laws, the 10 Commandments. When God spoke to Moses, he also gave Moses a very specific plan for something he wanted his people to make. God wanted his people to make a tabernacle, a special tent with special furniture inside. Every part of it was to be made so that all of it could easily be moved. So a tent, if you've ever gone camping, you find a place to camp, then you bring your tent out, put it down. But it's pretty easy to pull the tent back up and take it with you and keep on moving. The tabernacle was supposed to be the same way, made so that it could be put in a spot, they could worship in it, or they could pick it back up and they could move it. The tabernacle would be a place for God's people to worship him. Now, you might think a tent wouldn't be a very special place or a pretty place, but this tent would be the most beautiful tent the people had ever seen. Exodus chapter 35, verse 5 through 9 says, "Take an offering for the Lord from what you have. Those who want to can bring an offering to the Lord. Here is what they can bring: gold, silver, and bronze, blue, purple, and bright red yarn and fine linen, goat hair, ram skins that are dyed red, another kind of strong leather, acacia wood, olive oil for the lights, spices for the anointing oil and for the sweet-smelling incense, onyx stones and other jewels for the linen and chest cloth." Whoa, that was a lot. That was a lot of flashy stuff to be putting in a tent. What did Moses tell the people to give? Everything. Everything that was precious to them, everything they considered precious, jewels and gold and fine smelling smells and incense. What's most precious to you? What do you think they would ask you to contribute to the tent? God wanted the people to give only if they wanted to. No one would be forced to give. He said, hey, this is going to be special. This is where we're going to worship God. All right, this tent, this beautiful tent. If you feel compelled, if you feel your relationship with God is strong, give only out of wanting, not like don't give out like you're being forced to. There's a difference if you're hanging out with your friends, and you feel obligated to give somebody something. Maybe it's candy. You're like, oh, I have all this candy. Maybe I should give my friend some. Versus somebody being like, hey, you have to give them candy. Giving out of a heart of love and generosity is always better than giving out of a heart that feels like, oh, I have to do this, otherwise, blah, blah, blah. Generous givers. The list of things needed for the tabernacle was pretty amazing. Special wood, beautiful stones, gold, animal skins, olive oil. The tabernacle would need colorful fabrics in red, blue, and purple, along with many spices. What do you think the people did? The people began to bring everything that was needed. Then God told Moses that he had given two men, Bezalel and Oholiab, I did my best to pronounce those, the ability and the skills to make everything needed for the tabernacle. The two men would not only use the skills God had given them, but would also teach others how to do these special works so that they could be done quickly. Soon people were spinning thread and weaving cloth. Men were shaping wood and covering it with gold. Gold-covered wood, that's crazy. Others were sewing together a huge piece of fabric that would become the tent and the fabric walls of the tabernacle. God is so great that I want to honor him by using my gifts and talents. Do you have any gifts and talents? Anything you think you're good at? You think that you're particularly special at doing? Those might be your talents that God has given you. There was a small problem. The people kept bringing more and more gifts. Soon, there was more than was needed. Well, that's always a good thing. It was a good problem to have. It seems that people really wanted to give everything they could to make the tabernacle beautiful. So Moses told everyone to stop bringing materials. Oh, thanks for all this stuff, guys, but you got to stop. it was too much. Because they had already had more than enough. How do you think the people felt? The day came when the work was all done. Moses came and checked everything to be sure it was exactly as God had told him to make it. Everything was done well. Moses was glad, and I'm sure God was glad too. So were all the people. Then God told Moses, on the first day of the first month, set up the tabernacle. Moses was to set everything up according to the pattern God had shown him. So Moses began his work. Then God told Moses, oh, wait, no. I already read that. Moses hung the curtains inside the tent. He moved each piece of furniture to its proper place. Then he put up the posts for the outside walls and hung fabric around the courtyard. It was a huge job. When Moses had finished the work, the cloud that had led them all the way there was covered with the tabernacle. Covered the tabernacle, the cloud. Now the people knew that God was with them. From then on, whenever the cloud stopped, the people set up camp, and the cloud covered the tabernacle. Whenever the cloud lifted from the tabernacle, the Israelites knew that it was time to go. If the cloud didn't leave the tabernacle, they didn't leave either. God was with them, directing them and protecting them in all their travels. That's cool. So, when we do our best in whatever God has made us able to do, we honor God, just as the Israelites did. I think about my job where I work. I work at a place where you make sushi, but I don't make any of the sushi. I make everything everyone needs to make sushi, so I cut vegetables and make rice. And I think, man, this isn't necessarily, it's my job. I don't necessarily think of it as like a skill. I just, do it. It's what I'm paid to do. And then I think about stuff like this, where it's no matter what you have in front of you, whatever God has made us able to do. He's made me able to make rice. He's made me able to cut vegetables. Do it to the best of your ability, and you are honoring God. So that's what I do. That's what the Israelites did. That's what you should do too. Our lives can be kind of like a mirror. When we honor God and show love to Him by willingly doing the good things God made us able to do, we shine the light on God like a mirror shines. We shine the light on God like this mirror shines the light. Okay, like a mirror reflects light. We can also honor God by thanking Him for the things He has given us and the way He helps us as we obey Him. Awesome. If you don't know what your talents are, ask your parents. Parents might be able to help you out with that. What you're good at? You're good at drawing, talking, singing, dancing. Whatever your talent is, do it for God and do it the best you can, and He will be glorified. All right, take it easy.